Hey you guys, it's your girl Jespri. So I'm coming to you guys because uh I'm not gonna show my face or anything, but I do have a testimony um in reference to some of Kevin Samuel's most recent advice and his beliefs and things of that nature. So what I want to say is I have a son who will be turning 12, and today, I don't know, the opportunity just presented itself where I said to him, um what were we talking about? I started out talking about what kind of car he wanted, and he said a Lamborghini. And I asked him how much he thought he would have to make to buy a Lamborghini and stuff. So then the conversation went on to where I said, you know, um, I said a man's job is to be a prophet, a provider, and a protector. And I said, and I told him that um, that he is in charge of his destiny, basically, and that he needs to work hard for his family, work hard to make money for his family, and that essentially he is the leader of his household. He sets the tone, he sets the foundation. Um, his wife, she is allowed to have her opinion, her thoughts and beliefs, but he is ultimately in charge, and he should hear his wife out, but that what else? Oh, I was telling him that if a girl ever decided she wanted to leave him, I said, don't you ever fight over a female. I said, if she doesn't want to be with you, um, she wasn't yours to begin with. I said, let that other man or that other guy have her. I said, don't you dare fight over another female. I said, and don't you take no shit from no female. And I said, I said, basically what you say is um what it is and how it's gonna go, and you earn that respect by um being worthy of respect, doing doing the things that are worthy of respect. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I wanted him to be clear. I want to make it clear to him that his woman, his wife, because as we get further along in the years now, like this whole modern feminism woman thing is like a thing that needs to be banished, dissolved, whatever. Like we are so far, including myself, from being a submissive in a submissive role and knowing our place as a woman and as a nurturer. And even though we have our children, um, a lot of us single mothers, we raise our children and we love our children, granted, but especially those of us single mothers who have boys. My son's father, and I'm not going to bash him, um, he just, I've gotten to a point where I'm not gonna even, I don't even know his number by heart. Maybe this is me being petty. Maybe y'all can give me some advice. But I deleted his number. I'm not, my son has a phone. So we don't have any reason to have any contact anymore. I was trying to keep a relationship with him out of the fact that if my son did get out of if and when my son does get out of hand, I had been calling him to let him know, and then arranging times and dates for my son to be dropped off and picked up and things of that nature. So, whenever he wants to do that, he could just call my son. It's not as often as I would like, but God bless him and may he keep him. And I am over it. I'm done. Like I never maybe in the beginning cuz I was being, the emotional woman. Like I said, my son's 12. He'll be 12 on Mother's Day. But well, the year he was born on Mother's Day. This shit, it always changes. Anyway, um in the beginning, I was silly. Of course, that was 12 years ago. No excuses. I was 30. I was still a grown ass woman. But, feelings was involved, yada, yada, yada. So until I got out of my emotional, feelings, was I only was I able to really, understand and parent the way that we needed to parent. Um, his father had gotten married. And let's just say I dodged a bullet. It has nothing to do with his parenting, though. We're talking about parenting, so. But hmm, I should tell a story. I'm gonna tell a story about his dad, but I'm just not going to say it was him, basically, cause his dad did some foul shit, y'all. But I'ma do a whole nother video maybe in a few days. Nobody's gonna know. Anyway, but I said that to say because I just want to thank Kevin Samuels. I'm sure even if he does, whether he hears it or not, and I don't know why I'm about to cry, but stupid emotions. But I'm so thankful that I can now see in from the perspective because from a perspective of honoring your man and being there for your man um and your children and how important family really is, because I got caught up in being first of all, I was a teen parent and I had to get out there and I had to work and I had to run that rat race and everything like that. And then by the time I had my son, I still didn't know the concept of, girl, sit your ass down, get you a husband, raise your baby, you know, and establish a family. Um, so that's one of my biggest regrets because watching my parents, I mean, they did the best they could. I'm not here to bash them. But being that my mother did tell me some things, just okay, for example, and she never bashed him, never bashed him. I saw most of it for myself, so she didn't have to say anything because I lived it. We lived it, you know. So, and he wasn't abusive or anything, but at one point, I don't know, she felt the way because she had to get on public assistance while he was in the home. And they had to lie and say they were separated so she could get food stamps. He did have a gambling problem, a drug problem, Um, and so did my mom, but so did she, not excusing her. So that whole situation was just a mess. Um, my sister, she turned out, she became a doctor. She married her husband at 30. Married, my younger brother married his wife. He was around 25, I think. Let's see, my daughter was little. She was about, oh, my niece was a baby. So that was 15 years ago. Going on maybe 16 years ago that my brother's been married. He's, he'll be 40. So he was, yeah, 25. 40 minus 15, just give or take. 40 minus 15, because I'll be 42. He'll be 40. Minus 15, my niece was a baby. She'll be 16. So yeah, he was 25. And then my older brother, he got married. His wife is a few years older than him, but he got married around 30. And honey, phew, that monster, he was a whole trip. My younger brother, he's a real true square. Nothing wrong with it. I should have married me a square. And ain't nothing with a roughneck wrong with a roughneck. But my younger brother is a real square. Not saying that he can't cheat or won't cheat, but he's as square as he could probably get. Um, and he not gonna leave his family because that's just not. He got 5 kids. He better not, because I would shoot his ass in the foot if he left that girl with all them kids. But my older brother, that's a whole. But he's still married. They end up working it out, thank God. So anyway, I'm just a lone soldier, but I guess I had to get that off my chest, huh? I don't know. I've been wanting to share that, but I said that to say because you want your kids to do better, have better, all that stuff. And I just hope that, I just want my son to do what's right by his kids eventually one day, whenever and hopefully his wife. Because I said to him, I said, do you think you should be married before you have kids? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, why? I said, I'm not married. And he didn't really know what to say. So he's like, well, I don't know. And I said, well, just because I'm not married doesn't make it right. I said, in God's eyes, of course, because I'm a Christian. So if you're not a Christian, don't even worry about it. It don't apply to you. But as a Christian, I 1,000% believe that, we should be married. Um, so and it's not like I can preach, like, say, I can't preach that to my children because obviously I'm not. But and it's just unfortunate that my son's father and his stepmother are now broken up because they were married and now they're breaking up. So my son comes from two broken homes, double the broken homes, you know. Besides me and his father never really, well, not being together. And then he had a stepmother whom we loved. I loved. He loved her. He called her mom. Um, and they were together for about. They got married on my mother's birthday, so I could never forget the date. And it was the same year he couldn't go to his dad's wedding because I had got it. Okay, so I'm gonna tell this story real quick too. This is a trip. So his dad was getting married. Now mind you, okay, the year his dad got married, his fiance at the time had called me like, I don't know, maybe 8 months prior, and she goes, we're talking, and she said, so I just want you to know that, we got engaged or whatever, and we will be getting married, and I'll keep you posted on the information on the dates and stuff. So I was like, okay, cool, no problem, whatever. So fast forward around April. Okay, no, fast forward. Let's say that was like in, let's say let's say that was like in September. Um October, November, December, January. So so say that was around September. Around January I had got a letter from my father's side of the family that we were having a reunion because my dad had died and my aunt wanted us to all get together. So I'm like, okay, we got a family reunion coming up. And I'm like, and it didn't dawn on me about their wedding because that's not my situation. So I'm not thinking about them. She mentioned it once, like months and months ago. So let's say she mentioned it in like September. Here it is, December. I got the letter for the family reunion. I'm not thinking about them, and not out of hate or nothing, but it just didn't even cross my mind because it was never brought back up. You know what I'm saying? So, she never texted me a date and said, this is the day, keep this, this is a possible date, this is a date, nothing. So anyway, after that initial conversation. So fast forward to like April. His dad calls me and he's like, yo, tell Bink I gotta get him fitted for his suit. So I said, oh. I said, okay. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, no problem. So I hung up the phone with him like really like so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. End of discussion, hang up. And I'm sitting in the car because I was sitting outside my mother's house. And I was like, what? Wait a minute. A suit for the wedding? I'm like, shit, we got a family reunion coming up. So I call him back. I'm like, yo, when is the wedding? So he told me the date, which is my mother's birthday. And this was the same exact whole week that we was going to Florida. And I was like, dude, I said, we're going to Florida for family vacation or reunion or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, I said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I said, I can ask my mom. Always trying to accommodate. That's me. I'm always trying to be accommodating. I said, well, maybe I could see my mother watch him. I said, are y'all planning on going on honeymoon right after? Like, what are we doing here? So he was like, well, no, he can't stay with us after the wedding. So I was like, okay, well. So I even called my mother. I was like, Mom, should he? Because mind you, my son had never met a lot of my family on my dad's side in Florida. Um, because my son was only, but he was only like 5 or 6, and we hadn't been to Florida in 6 years. So, um, anyway, so uh, so I took a chance. I'm like, okay, what can I do? I said my son hasn't met my dad's side of the family, all of them like that. Other than seeing pictures on Facebook and stuff. So I said, well, I asked my mom, would she keep them while we go out of town? She was like, no, take them with you. So I was like, well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you. I said, my mom said she not watching them. So the wife calls me and says, basically, you knew when we was getting married. And I said, excuse me? I said, wait a minute. What? I told you when we was getting married. Yada, yada, yada. Whatever else she said. I don't remember the whole conversation. But I was just like, no, you didn't. And so I guess we kind of went back and forth a little, whatever. It wasn't a big blowout or anything. We just ended up hanging up. And she was really pissed off about that for a long time. I mean, long time. She really would not talk to me. Anyway, that's my story. I don't know how I got to that part, but yeah. So now they are divorcing after well, like 5, 6 years maybe. Because when they got married, we went to Florida. He was like 6. He about to be 12. So that's like they're together for like 6 years. So anyway, I said that to say, I don't know, but I do appreciate, and this may sound like dick writing, whatever. I do appreciate the fact that, and even the men, like the men in the comments that talk shit, mainly the ones that really seem to want to help us women understand. I really appreciate those guys. I know this whole topic has been around forever and ever, but I don't know. It's something about God has something for Kevin Samuels that, for whatever reason, he just chose him. He is the chosen one, honey, the golden child. So kudos to him. Good for him. Um, but I can just really appreciate the fact that and it seems so obvious, like your family, you should want a family, you should want a husband, you should want that solid foundation. But it was kind of like ingrained in me, and maybe from some of the things I went through, it was like you gotta be independent, you gotta take care of yourself. I've never lived with a man. I've always paid my own bills, have always done me, you know, always, always, always. I've been willing to be in a relationship. Um, Part of the issue with that was the one guy in particular that was 100% available. As just well, no, he wasn't even 100% available. He had a whole nother girlfriend. Um, I was willing to commit to at least two guys, but they didn't like me. They didn't like me the same way I liked them. Um, so, and then there's other guys that I could have positioned myself better for, but again, I was always so flighty and all over the place with myself. Like I just had to keep going, had to go. I couldn't be bothered with no man trying to settle down, child. I don't know. Um, except for the one or two that I really wanted to be with. I would accept everything for them. Um, but yeah. So like the saying goes, you can't always have what you want. Huh? I got a guy friend to this day. This girl was saying how she said if I really liked you, a guy, if I really liked a guy, she said she blocks him on everything. And this is kind of random too, but it made me think about an ex that I was just so crazy about. And man, it's always that way. So, like, he friends me on Facebook, and he'll try to creep into my little comment section. Not nothing sexual or nothing, but I be like, I can't even look at you. Like, I'm not in love anymore, but if I can't put it this way, if I can't have him, I don't even want to see him. I just, whenever I do see him on Facebook, I be like, ugh, I want him, but I know I can't have him, and I'm not willing to risk like dating, somebody that's been in a committed relationship, and I also want to tear his clothes off. So I'm just like, you know what, I can't. Sorry for being a freak, y'all. Oh, hey, it is what it is. I'll be a freak in the morning, a freak in the evening, just like me. So, anyway, there goes that double standard. Why can't I be a freak? I'm just kidding. So yeah. On that note, I'm gonna end this video. Please like, share, subscribe. Don't share it, just subscribe, y'all. Cause I'm rambling a hot rambling mess. But if you like this video, you can cash at me at $Candy CANDYLAND 5809. And I hope you enjoyed this video, okay? Good night. Thanks. Bye.